So, Lucas Tracy, Flukus Glazy, Cobble Wobblestone knees, comes out of retirement for the 10th time. And boy oh boy, does he never fail to deliver. Lucas Tracy made a video yesterday. Arman Tsarukyan versus Ilia Topuria isn't a close fight. People are overhyping Arman. People are kind of disrespecting Ilia in a way, he was saying. And I want to say before I get into this, I have been watching Lucas Tracy since Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. I am the definition of a day one fan of Lucas Tracy. He is probably my second favorite MMA YouTuber. He's probably like a top 5 YouTuber ever, okay? Like, I love Lucas Tracy. If Lucas Tracy sees this video and like leaves a comment, that would be the fucking craziest thing in the world. But fuck me, he's done it again. He's done it again. He makes another video. Now listen, he was one of the many people I exposed on screen here with the Benoit Saint Denis versus Dustin Poirier. Listen, I know, I just knew, and I will never let that prediction down. But there's a few talking points in this video I disagreed with, and I kind of wanted to say. First of all, he kind of made it out, and I feel like some people are doing this, where they make it out to seem like people are giving Ilia no chance, bro. Arman's just too good. Arman's just gonna go and smash him. Who's Ilia beat, bro? It's not that at all. He raised a few points which I agree with. He raised a few points which I think he didn't raise a few. He raised a few points I disagreed with, but he didn't raise some points that from someone who would pick Arman to beat Ilia isn't like, people aren't really getting the full picture, if that makes sense. So the first point, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. A lot of people are latching onto this. Oh, well, Ilia reversed him. And the big one that pisses me off, okay, is, oh, well, Ilia got him in a crucifix. And did what? And did what, bro? He did 0 damage. He got reversed straight away and got back to his feet. Charles Oliveira, like I have said so many times, is a stationary opponent. Islam Makhachev dropped him. He's been hit so many times in his career. Gaethje dropped him. Poirier dropped him. He's notorious for getting dropped. Ilia has way more power than all of them, okay? And I still stand on the boat that the Makhachev performance was way better than the Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. I will die on that hill, bro. I will die on that hill. Prime for prime. Charles Oliveira was in way better prime when he fought Makhachev compared to when he fought Topuria. Okay, he submitted him, which is way more impressive. That was prime Charles Oliveira as well. You know, Oliveira kind of switched up his style a little bit after that fight. I always thought Charles was very underrated in the striking. I always thought Charles had good hands. He dropped Justin Gaethje. He was in there with Dustin Poirier landing. Knocked out Beneil Dariush. I really felt like he fell in love with his hands in his championship reign. He knocked down Michael Chandler as well, for fuck's sake. And I feel like he became more defensive after the Makhachev fight. I think he became more of a heavy wrestling approach the last year and a bit, specifically in the Michael Chandler fight. And listen, Charles looked incredible against Mateus Gamrot. Looked absolutely sensational. I think Oliveira does his best work when he's just threatening on the ground. I know that might sound like really basic, and yeah, of course, bro, most submissions ever, man. But I just feel like he's just way more dominant than these guys on the ground. I feel like he's way more of a threat than like a Topuria. And like, as much as Arman definitely had scary moments, definitely had moments where I'm like, oh shit, this isn't good. I feel like we can all agree Arman was probably in control most of that fight. Arman did a lot of good work with the wrestling, and we never really saw Topuria. As much as that Topuria is not, it's not Topuria's game, I should say, to really go down and hold someone down. Bryce Mitchell got Ilia Topuria on his back. Bryce Mitchell was able to get him down, okay? Bryce Mitchell's not even a top 5 wrestler in featherweight. He got him down, bro. I'm sorry. It's true. Go back and look at the fight. Bryce Mitchell actually had success in the grappling. Charles Oliveira cannot be compared to Arman Tsarukyan stylistic-wise. You cannot compare them. They're different styles. Bryce Mitchell is arguably the closest thing, considering Arman's a heavy wrestler, that we have to compare. Okay? And let's not forget, Arman knocked out Beneil Dariush. Arman was landing on Charles in moments. Definitely was much more of a heavy grappling approach, which is extremely risky. To do that against Charles, extremely risky. That shows the level of wrestling Arman has, that he's able to sit in Oliveira's guard, land elbows, and dominate the fight that way. Okay, he nearly got caught in a few moments. It was a close fight. Arman clearly won, but there were moments where I was shitting myself. Like, holy fuck, Oliveira might finish the fight here. But the main one is, I never heard him say the Bryce Mitchell thing. I never hear people bring up the Bryce Mitchell versus Ilia Topuria fight. Yes, he submitted him at the end, but there were moments Ilia was on his back. Ilia was on his back. And are you sitting there telling me that Bryce Mitchell is a comparable wrestler to Arman Tsarukyan? It's not true, bro. It's simply not true. That's why I think Tsarukyan can win. And let's not forget, look at the Joel Alvarez fight. Look at the Charles Oliveira fight. Look at the Dan Hooker fight. He's full mounting arm triangling Dan Hooker. He's landing the most vicious ground and pound. Some of the most vicious ground and pound in a UFC fight against Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez is a bit of a killer. Joel Alvarez is a top 20 lightweight. Okay, I know that's not massive, but he landed some great ground and pound on Oliveira. He has the best ground and pound in the UFC. I don't think that's an outrageous statement. I don't think that's a controversial statement. I think Arman has the best ground and pound in the UFC. Now, there is that talking point of Arman does get hit 100%. Ilia can win this fight. I lean maybe 55-45 to Arman. I don't see anybody apart from Makhachev fans and these kind of people saying Arman smokes him. Arman ragdolls him. Every single YouTuber I have seen says this is a close fight. Some people say I lean towards Arman with the grappling. Some people say I lean towards Ilia with the striking. Nobody is saying Arman ragdolls him or just smashes and smokes him, apart from Makhachev and Arman fans. Anybody I have seen that has a fucking brain sits there and says, holy shit, this is a really close fight, but Arman's grappling is insane. And Arman is a freak of nature. He is a freak of humans. He's a specimen of human creation to be able to be that good at grappling, to be able to have the ground and pound he has. His flexibility is absolutely insane. Actually, fuck it, best gator roller in the UFC as well. Let's not fucking forget that this dude is flexible. He can get out of any different position. Very interesting to see how Ilia approaches this. Because for me, I think Topuria will go into this fight letting Arman shoot the first 1 or 2 takedowns. I don't think he'd be kind of necessarily looking for the shots off the bat. He'd kind of wait. And the reason he would wait, A, to see if he can really stuff the takedowns. And B, let's say he does stuff the takedowns. And let's say, Arman shoots maybe 2 or 3 and Ilia stuffs them all. That's when Topuria is going to be able to find the chin. That's when Arman's like, oh shit, I'm going to have to get something going with my striking here. This isn't working. And bam, that's when Topuria can land combinations. Okay, so I fully expect Ilia to let Arman shoot. I'll be real. I fully expect it. I fully expect it simply because that's going to create the openings that Topuria needs to find the chin on Tsarukyan. I personally do believe that Tsarukyan's ability to get people to the ground. And the Dan Hooker fight was very interesting. Because Arman got down. Got kind of Hooker down simply because of Hooker was the one engaging. Okay, terrible idea from Dan Hooker. Terrible idea, okay? But that doesn't take away the ground and pound we have seen. That doesn't take away the fact that we both know, me and you watching at home know, Arman could get Dan Hooker down, even if it wasn't Dan Hooker engaging in the grappling. We both know that is true. We both know that would be happening, okay? Charles Oliveira fight. He was getting Charles down with some impressive takedowns, and Charles turned into a massive wrestler in the Michael Chandler fight. 4 rounds. 4 rounds. The first 4 rounds, he was just going in there and wrestling, okay? I don't put too much emphasis on that simply because Chandler's kind of shit. Chandler's just kind of mid-fighting. Like, let's be real, Chandler's just mid-fighting, okay? And for Topuria, the Bryce Mitchell fight. Why is no one talking about that? Why is no one saying, hold on a minute, Mitchell got him on his back? I can see Tsarukyan doing the same. I can see Arman Tsarukyan doing the same. And this Charles Oliveira fight, people, yes, it was extremely impressive. Okay, but when Oliveira's walking forward, after he was mentally broke because he couldn't get the takedowns, obviously the shots are going to be there. And then people are like, oh, well, Ilia reversed them. And, oh my God, did you see that crucifix? What did he do with the crucifix? What did he do? What did he do with the crucifix? Please, somebody tell me what Charles Oliveira did with that, or Ilia Topuria did with that crucifix. It lasted about 4 seconds before Oliveira got out of there and they were back to their feet. Am I, like, are the lights on here? Am I the only one watching these fights? Please, but listen, if Lucas Tracy does see this video, I love Lucas. We need Lucas Tracy in the MMA world. He's funny, he's entertaining, he's one of the big three, Bedtime Guru and Tracy, they're the big three at the moment. He is just, we need him. We need him. And if Lucas is seeing this by some miraculous miracle, you fucking goat, man. I love your videos, bro. I love your videos. I'm trying to get to that level. I'm trying to get to that level, boys. But let me know what you think about this. Does Tsarukyan win? Does Topuria win? I don't know, man.